I know, I told him.
That's what I did.
Oh, it's coming.
So the main thing is, years ago, we didn't really have to have a lot of rules. But because I've been in the situation of having been kicked out of the apartments, and mind you, it was not for drinking, it was because we took our kids to the pool too much, okay, and swam with them at the pool. That's why we got kicked out of our apartments, okay, and that's why we got our leases not renewed. So at the end of the day, we can say whatever we want about the apartment complex. They are sassy. They probably have some way too high expectations for what they're expecting, but at the end of the day, they make the rules and they sign the leases. And so we obviously need those leases to be renewed. If they're not renewed, we will go to really, really crappy hotels, and that's where you will finish out the summer. Having done that before, I recommend you not getting in that position. It sucks. We were in value places, which luckily don't exist anymore. They got shut down. They were so horrible. But it was the only place that could hold enough people like us. Otherwise, we'd be in 14 different hotels across the city. It was the only hotels that we could stay in, so that's where we went. And it was terrible. We didn't have a good meeting place. We didn't really have an office, and it took a toll on everybody and the success of the office. And so it's not so much I don't want to get mad. I want you guys to understand the severity of your actions. I know that most of the complaints are you guys just goofing off and just being young adults. That's all it is. However, to them, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. They have to wake up and go suck at a freaking job for 8 to 12 hours, and you guys are keeping them up. And so they've already had 2 leases not willing to renew their leases in August because of us. And so as an apartment owner, if I were to own an apartment and I had a group of, thuggy kids come in and start causing problems and making it to where my residents who stay there year after year start moving out, you bet your bottom dollar I'd kick you guys out too. Because while we pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's not worth losing year-round normal tenants who stay there for years. And so it's a bad narrative because those people, sadly, are the type that will go on and post on Yelp and every other review site what that apartment complex is willing to tolerate. So we will cause many issues down the road because when someone has a choice between this apartment, Kingsley, and another, and they get on there, they go, yeah, they'll let anybody stay there. They have a bunch of hooligans stay there and a bunch of drunks and this and that. And the problem with going to the pool, you guys might not have been drinking, but there's something called guilty by association, and there are people serving life sentences because of it. They may not have had nothing to do with the crime, but they were there, baby. And so it's guilty by association, put into prison. Now, obviously, no one's going to freaking prison. But I'm telling you right now, you do not want to not have your apartments renewed, the leases. You want that to be very steady because obviously a big part of our success is the formula that we have and the consistency that we have. So by doing so and having to move out of the apartment, we're going to disrupt that flow. And you guys are killing it. And so I don't want that to get disrupted. So I'm just begging you, I'm asking you for your own success and for the success of the company and the office that before you guys do anything, I think a pretty safe assumption is hey, would my grandma be super proud of what we're doing right now? And if the answer is no, then don't do that thing, whatever that thing may be, okay? Be insanely, you're gonna have to be insanely respectful because the narrative is already set. Hey, they are hooligans, okay? And even last year and the year before, being even stricter, it still didn't matter. If people around us were drinking, we were drunks. That's what we got called in email, drunks. And I know for a fact we weren't drinking because I was there and I was watching it, and I would have to go in and debate, and I would have to argue our point to them, pull up the cameras, look at it, show them. But it doesn't matter because the point has already been made and the narrative is already set. So we have to change it very quickly because we have to give them 60-day notice for renewals. And so that's pretty much here pretty soon. And they literally can, with the swipe of a pen, change the course of the rest of the summer for us. So it's not that I'm mad at you guys. I know most of it literally is just, I mean, dude, checking a football in the yard, that should not be against any rules. But for us, it is. Okay? So to make the money we make, we have to live by a little bit higher standard for a couple more months. Literally, at the end of August, go back home, freaking chuck a dadgum football at your neighbor's front door. I don't care. But for the 3 more months that we are here, we have to live by a higher standard, okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, sir. I want you guys to go kill it today. All right, love you guys.
Hey, you too.
We'll see ya.
Dan Moser, baby.
All right. And
Anyone have any questions about that? Pretty straightforward.
yeah.
You guys good?
Picking up stuff on like the Amazon hub. Should we just like get you to do that or something?
No, just don't travel in squads, you know, just go by yourself.
They seemed peeved last time I went to pick something up from there.
Because you look
really?
normal, because you don't walk in
Did
there.
you use your key fob and then put it
Well,
together?
it doesn't
Go to the
work.
office?
It doesn't work all the time. You gotta get the staff to do it for you. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just get, I
Go to the back
I have
door.
a key fob that works every time. So I've never had an issue with Amazon Hub. I'll give you my key fob to borrow. We have 2 for our apartment. You can borrow one.
I have a key fob too, so yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Don't wear your AD t-shirt.
Basically, like,
Yeah.
don't go in the office to ask anybody anything. Don't go in there to go through the gym. Don't go in there to ask a question about the apartments. Don't go in there to ask about key fobs. Don't go in there to ask about if you can borrow a bike. Just that area over there, like pick up your mail and then go to the gym from the back.
Out of
And
sight, out of mind.
that's it.
Stay out of sight, we'll be out of mind.
Alright. So yeah, we obviously went over a little over time just because we had to cover that stuff. But yeah, just want to give you guys a quick training. I know we have a lot of new blood, and you guys are almost like trying to figure out where do I go next in the sale. So this is a good one that you guys can study. I try to break it down into some steps just to make it super simple in your mind. If you guys, how many of you your first day knocking today? Cooper,
Let's go, Coop.
Patrick. Oh, Patrick, no, I guess today.
go.
Maybe it's your first week, right? Or a couple weeks. Okay. Focus on this part here, just 1 through 4. Your icebreaker, what's in it for us, what's in it for them, and your transition inside. Once you can transition inside, if they let you inside your house, your chances of selling are way, 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 way higher. So then call me, call whoever your crew recruiter is, Caleb, Nate, and we'll help you close the first couple deals just to get you guys through the paperwork. But yeah, so one of the first things that you do when you go up to the door is you want to break the preoccupation, because they're programmed to see a salesman outside and say not interested, right? So my first goal when I go up to that door is to break the ice, break the preoccupation, redirect their attention to something else so they're not looking at me like a salesman right off the bat. If you're brand new and you're feeling nervous when you knock on the door, one of the best things you can say is, hey, I'll be real quick, I'm brand new at this, so just don't make fun of me. Initially, you're just going to humanize yourself with that person. They're going to see you like, hey, I remember my first day at my job. I remember I'm being nervous. They're going to give you a little bit more slack. Then if you're stuttering a little bit later, or you're like, oh, I need to talk to my manager, this, that, and the other, they'll be more understanding with you, right? Once you get a little bit more comfortable, I take that out of my pitch, because sometimes if you say I'm new, they don't see you as the professional as much. It's a good one to use right off the first couple weeks, but after that, the easiest thing to do is to name drop. They're not interested in, hey, I'm Ron, I'm out here with ADT, we're doing 2 homes, we're advertising this, that. That's not interesting to them. But if I immediately start talking about their neighborhood and what's going on in their neighborhood, they can't say not interested to that. Hey, real quick, you guys know Zach just across the street, he drives the Yale school bus? What can he not say to that? He's not going to say not interested. I'm talking about his neighborhood and what's going on in his neighborhood, okay? So, having your street sheet up, anytime that I talk to somebody, I make every single door a win. So even if I don't sell Ronnie, I'm going to figure out how long he's been there. I'm going to figure out if he has cameras. I'm going to figure out how he's an alarm system, and I'm going to ask why. If I can do those things, then I can make every door win. Because even though I didn't sell Ronnie, if I figured out he has cameras and I ask why, and he tells me he got his car broken into, then when I go to knock Phase on, the first thing is that, hey, real quick, I was just chatting with your neighbor Ronnie. I know he's been here for like 30 years. Do you guys have him beat? How long have you guys been around?
20.
Okay, so he just told me he got cameras set up on his house just with some of the car break-ins that happened. That was the main reason he was looking into it. What we're doing is we're just wanting more advertising in the neighborhood because we know that neighbors buy what neighbors have. So we just need help. You put our blue ADT sign up in front of your house, give us more word of mouth, we'll come in and we'll pay for the system for you guys. We'll actually pay for whichever camera you want, okay? But my chances are gonna go sky high if I break the ice first and I use a name drop. You can even use like, you know, a dumb, like you can even joke with them, you know, if you guys start to get more comfortable, you'll feel a little bit more natural on the doors. You know, ask them, hey, how'd your Memorial Day go? Nice, did you save any leftovers? What'd you guys have? Awesome, right? And then you can make it a little bit more organic. But when you're first going, you're gonna be so nervous that you're not gonna have the presence of mind to kind of be yourself. That's why it's important to have a script. Once you guys have this down after about 2 weeks, you can start putting more of yourself in there, right? You're gonna start to see Mike in this pitch. You're gonna start to see Alex in this pitch. And then that personality will help you sell higher volume. But we know that this formula works. So just memorize the formula. So first thing, I'm gonna name drop, and then I'm gonna explain what's in it for us. So what's in it for us?
Advertising.
Okay, how do we get advertising?
From the sign on their yard.
Okay, what's in it for them?
Some equipment system.
Pay for the system. Awesome, okay? So, there's probably the 3 hardest parts of the sale. I'll say your transition inside, your qualifying, and your billing. So in between all of these, I'm going to build value so that I can get my scale higher. The higher my value is, they're not going to give me any objections if my value is high enough. So, I'll do my icebreaker. Hey, I was just working with Zach across the street. We're out here in the neighborhood doing cameras for his house. If you hear any sirens going off, we're just doing theirs. We want more advertising in the neighborhood because we know that neighbors buy what neighbors have, okay? So, if you're a rookie, just practice to your transition. After you explain what's in it for them, hey, we'll pay for whichever camera you want. Have you guys ever used an alarm system before? They can say yes, they can say no. If they say yes, oh, perfect, do you know what model number your keypad is? They start thinking, like, what the hell is he talking about? Okay, perfect, do you mind if I take a look? And then I'll use a transition inside. If they say no, I've never used an alarm system, awesome. My job is to show you where we put everything. I like Ron's line, that's a good one if it's an older house, but my job is just to show you where everything goes. We start right here on the doors. I'll actually show you. Do you need me to take off my shoes? Okay. Do you need to take off the shoes? They can say, yes, I need you to take off my shoes. I take off my shoes. They can say, no, I don't need you to take off my shoes. I don't take off my shoes. Either way, you can get inside using that line. So, then after you transition inside, you're going to do your walkthrough. I'm pretty sure Caleb's going to do a training on this on Thursday. But showing is selling, right? So if you're showing them where it's going to go in their house and how it's going to work specifically for them, it's going to help them visualize the product and it's going to help them be more comfortable buying it. So you want to show them where everything goes. You're going to do your price drop. Hey, it's just like a phone bill. Who do you guys use for your cell phone service? Perfect. It's just like that. It's 70 bucks. Once you guys get the steps down, you do your price drop, then you qualify, billing, DocuSign, welcome call. So take a picture of this and then save it in your sales slicks and just make sure that you're doing that at every single house. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to ask questions in between each of your steps. So I wrote a question that you guys could ask because it's going to break up the sales pitch for you guys. No one wants to hear a sales pitch. Too many of us ramble off this and they don't give the customer a time to talk at all. And then you get to the end of it and then what do they say? Not interested, right? Because they weren't even listening. They heard you go into the sales tone, and they said, I'm going to wait for this guy to shut up. They're thinking about, oh man, I got to go watch that Netflix show. I got to get back on the kitchen. Oh, you're done? Yeah, not interested, man. But if instead I ask questions in between, I'm assuming their participation. They're going to listen more actively because they're a part of the conversation. and they know that I'm going to ask them another question, so they have to be more intent to listen because they're going to be asked the question. So, all right, here's one I do after the icebreaker. Hey, I was hoping to talk to you. I just talked to Ron down the road. He's actually helping us out. Are you by chance the homeowner right here?
Yeah,
Nice. How long have you guys been out in the neighborhood?
50 years.
Okay, sweet deal. So you'd be great. You'd be a great reference for us because you probably know everyone out here. We're looking to pay 2 homeowners to advertise for us. You've been in the neighborhood for 50 years, so it's going to help us a ton. We just want to put the ADT sign out in front of your yard. Since you guys do that, we go ahead and pay for whatever camera you guys want. Use your keynote. Here's the cameras, and then I'll explain a couple of benefits of each camera. Because a lot of times we'll say, hey, we'll pay for a camera. Which camera do you want? They don't know. So I'm going to tell them what people like, just very briefly, so that they'll give me the question easier. Who has the keynote on their iPad? Yeah, so yeah, use that because it's pretty cool, but I'll do the same thing if you have a pamphlet. Hey, we'll pay for whichever camera you want. A lot of people like using the indoor cameras as baby monitors or just to watch over their dogs. Your dog's like probably part of your family, so you can talk to them through the camera. The doorbell camera is real popular if you order a lot on Amazon. And the outdoor cameras, a lot of people put them over the car just if they're having car break-ins in the neighborhood. Out of those 3 cameras, which one do you see yourself using the most?
Probably the one for my vehicle.
Okay, why do you say that?
I just got broken into a few times.
So that's my question. After I say that, what camera would you use? And then I ask why. Now once he tells me because he got his car broken into, that's building emotion because he's thinking about that time that he got his car broken into. Now he wants my system more. If you blow through the pitch without asking that question, you never find the hot button. So ask that question right there, and then I'll tell him briefly a couple features of each of them so it's easier for him to answer the question. But yeah, transition inside. Have you guys ever used a system before? After you do the walkthrough, this is a question that Brady Dayton asks on every sale. Show them where everything goes, build out the system for you. Does that all seem pretty easy? And then if they have an objection there or they're not comfortable with it, that's your time to address that, right? So show them all the equipment. Does that all seem pretty easy to you? Yeah, it seems pretty easy. Okay, I'm ready to go to the next part of the sale, okay? That's a question you can add in there. And then we're running a little bit low on time, so yeah, 140 right now. So yeah, we'll just wrap this up real quick. But yeah, price drop, hey, it's just like your phone bill. Who do you guys have for your cell phone service? Verizon. Okay, similar to that, how much do you pay for your cell phone service, if you don't mind me asking?
150, I think.
Yeah, and so that's for your smartphone. How much do you think a smart home might be?
The one you just
Yeah.
Probably like 300.
Probably a lot more, right?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of neighbors are actually paying. The cool thing about this is since you advertise for us, we drop your rate. Don't brag about it. We get it to you for $70. That's the only thing you gotta pay. I just have to qualify your home real quick. You said you own the home here, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never had ADT in the past or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, sweet. As long as you never owed us any bill, I can get you that discounted rate. I'll punch you into the system. What was your phone number?
405.
And then what was your last name?
I know.
And then just a birthday. We want to make sure there's not another Ron Highshaw that owes us money. Okay, boom. Okay. So yeah, same thing. That's your question for that one. Your billing question. Who do you use for your bank? Another one that you can ask for billing. That's an easy soft close. Is like, hey, you can choose how you want to do your payment. You can do it monthly, quarterly, or annually. Is monthly work okay for you guys?
Yeah.
Another non-threatening question. That's assuming that I'm going to get their billing information, but I'm not asking for their, hey, give me your credit card number real quick. It's cool. Hey, the cool thing is, you get to actually pick how you do this. Which is monthly best for you?
Yeah.
I'm making it a positive. Too many of us get nervous at the billing part, and you're like kind of like in your head like, oh crap. If you get nervous, the customer's going to be nervous. So it's all about just keeping your confidence up. And a good question that you can ask is, hey, the cool thing is, right, I make it a positive, you get to choose how you do your billing. You do monthly, quarterly, or annually, and then I'll kind of like give them their answer. Most people just choose monthly. Is monthly good for you guys as well?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. And then another one for DocuSign. Hey, have you ever used DocuSign before? I'll use that pretty much before every DocuSign, because if they have used DocuSign, then okay, perfect, it's just the auto initial. I don't really have to like explain it to them as much. I'll just kind of let it click through them. And then after you do your DocuSign, you do your welcome call. So remember, you got to do that on every door. And you obviously schedule your tech as well. So, does anyone have any questions about any of the steps of the sale?
Try and prep your welcome calls too. Like just like they're gonna ask you if you're the homeowner, that you are, right?
Yep.
And then just try and prep them. It's not worth losing $1,000 of commission just because Yeah, prep for the welcome call.
Chill. Alright, let's load up.
Alright.
Do this.
Yeah, Frank.
Hazel.
Phase on.
Yoda's on? Alright.
You guys name our prayer. I hope you keep us safe on the doors. We never know what other people are thinking when we're talking to them. I just pray that you keep us safe, lead us to the right people who need it, who wants it, and who could just look into themselves and see if they can afford it and see what it does for them. And I just pray that you just keep a good demeanor in our head and just make us keep going and don't feel anything to bring us down and just make us have a good day like every other day.
Amen.
Amen.